I get so caught up in the middle, thinking of drowning in those blue eyes. I'm losing sight 'cause I am falling. I'm so deep down, and it's not a love.
Hi, and welcome to Trey's World of Autism. I will be talking about early signs of autism today and what I saw with my son. Just to let you know, in the beginning, almost like when he was, up till when he was 2 years old, me and my husband didn't know that he was autistic. But now, knowing what I do know, I can let you know the signs that he did have when he was younger, when he was a baby, up till now when he's almost 5 years old. So when he was a baby, as a newborn, I remember that he would stare at his hands, like he would just do this. He would stare at his hands and look at them. And I was like, look at him. He's looking at his hands. He would look at his hands as if they were like magical hands. So I told my husband, look, he's looking at his hands so intently. So that's the first thing that I noticed, like just him looking at his hands. And he still sometimes like does it till this day. Like he'll just, when we're gonna sleep, he just stares at his hands. And he still does that. And then as he grew up, like 6 months old, he started to twirl his hands like this when he was like happy, or when I was feeding him. I noticed he was doing this. He would stretch them out and twirl it and just throw his arms like this and do this. I thought that he was just excited and happy, so I didn't think anything of it. He was my first child. Although I had a lot of nieces and nephews, I didn't put two and two together because I wasn't really exposed to autism. But so 6 months he would be doing this, and then like up to 1 year, I noticed that he was still flapping his hands like this, and then he would be twirling also his feet. So the pediatrician noticed. She's like, "Oh, look at his feet go! It's twirling. It was doing this." And I was like, "Oh yeah, he does that." She didn't mention anything of it. Like looking back, she didn't mention that could be a sign. But now that I know what I know, I knew he was stimming, which is self stimulation. So he was stimming. That's what he was doing when he was like 6 to 1 years old. And then when he started to walk, he another sign is delayed walking. He started to walk when he was 16 months. So then when he started to walk on his tippy toes. So that's another sign that we didn't catch on. We're like, oh, he's walking on his toes. So that was another one. And then he would line up his toys. So we just thought he was playing again. He would take his cars and just line them up in a straight line. Like, look at him. He's lining up his toys pretty straight. I didn't know that was a sign until later when my husband's sister had noticed it, that he was autistic. I think before he was 2, she noticed it. But those were the signs signs of autism, lining up toys or objects. So he did that. Along with, what else did he do? I think when he was 2 years old and he was stronger, like he started to jump. So when he was watching his favorite movie or he got excited, he would just jump up and down for he can jump up and down for the entire movie if he really liked the movie. He would just be so happy. He would just be like jumping up and down. I'm like, Trey, stop, because you're sweating and it's hot. You shouldn't jump. So that was another one, jumping up and down, and then also galloping from side to side. He would gallop from one side of the room to another side of the room. So he'd be just galloping. And then after that, what else? Galloping, and then looking at things from the corner of his eye. So like, for example, I brought the car seat in, and he was looking at it and playing with it. And then after that, he was going off to the side, and then he was looking at something. I'm like, what is he looking at? And it was actually the car seat. He was looking at it from a different angle. I don't know why they do that. I have to do more research. I don't know why, but he looks at things from the corner of his eye. And also like the clock, it was hanging from the staircase. He would go all the way into the bathroom and just be looking at it from a different angle. So that's another thing, looking at from the corner of the eye, a certain object. And now let's see, what else does he do? Oh, ever since he was like 1 or 2 years old, he would hold the corner of the blanket or pillow, and he would just rub it, and he would just do like a suckling motion, like Even though he wasn't drinking, he would just do the suckling motion. And he still does that till this day. So that's part of his stimming as well. So that's, let me see if I got everything. Yeah, oh, and ripping pieces of paper up. He still does it till now. So he takes a piece of paper and he just rips it and he throws it on the floor. But now I think that sometimes he thinks that they're toys, because I had, one time I was reciting the Humpty Dumpty, like Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, and then he took the paper and he put it on the chair. And when I said Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, he dropped the paper. When I said all the king's horses, and he grabbed the paper and he brought it to Humpty Dumpty, the other piece of paper. And then, and all the king's men, he brought another paper. So I was like, maybe he thinks these are toys. That's what I think. But he still does it till this day. He still tippy toes. He still flaps around. And then he also still sometimes lines up his toys. And like I said, sometimes he still looks at his hands when he's laying down, like almost ready for bed. And still does the blanket and the suckling motion. So he still does his stems. I kind of like let him go through it, but sometimes I say, okay, Trey, put your feet down, walk on your feet, just to guide him, slowly guiding him, because I know that it kind of soothes them when they do it. So those are the early signs of what I saw in my son, and up till now as well. So if you guys have any questions about that, or this is basically for those who don't know if their children are autistic, or want to compare. So that's what my son did. Or does still, as signs of autism and his stimming. So like I said, if you have any questions, please go ahead and leave a comment below and I'll respond to you. And I'll be posting again 1 time a week. Looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
I get so caught up in the meter, thinking of drowning in his blue eyes. I'm losing sight 'cause I am falling. I'm so deep down, and it's not a lie that I die. I can't hide what this is. Yeah, I keep drowning in those blue eyes, and you can tell me